What's poppin', everybody? It's Rye Burnson here. As you can tell, I don't really have a voice. It was way worse yesterday, but I recorded a Rye Burnson video yesterday with my voice worse than this. So I don't know how that's gonna work out. But I wanted to make this video because today is 10/27/2023. And if you know what that means, it means the new Five Nights at Freddy's movie just came out today. And guess who's seeing it instantly? Me. I'm going at 9:10 today, and I'm going to see the movie with my friend. We're wearing suits. We're cosplaying as Unis Honest. It's going to be awesome. Here's a picture. It's only 4, so I still have some time to see the movie. But I just wanted to give my first initial thoughts and how I think it's going to be. And then I'll give a review after. I don't really know how to review movies, but I'm gonna try. Also, I don't know if this video is gonna count as this week's video or I'm gonna upload something else. I don't really know because I have no footage because my voice sounds like shit. Maybe I'll just record some horror game I find on Itch.io or something. I don't know. Okay, so going into the movie without seeing it, the only trailers I've seen are the ones that have been officially released. I haven't seen any spoilers or anything. The only thing I've seen was the group fight that was happening at an early showing for some reason. That was pretty fun. I hope that happens during mine. But what do I think? What do I think's gonna happen? I think the movie might suck ass. And that's okay. The reason I think it's gonna suck ass, I haven't seen the Rotten Tomatoes or anything on it. It's a PG-13 horror movie, and it's also a mascot horror movie. So they don't want this shit to be way too gruesome, way too vulgar, because children like Five Nights at Freddy's, they need to make money off of this. So of course they're gonna make it kind of kid friendly in a way. And I feel since they're going in that direction, the movie's gonna be less extreme. It's gonna kind of suck. And now, not saying that, since it's less vulgar, it's gonna be a worse movie. I'm not saying that. I think any movie can be good, no matter what's shown or said or anything. But I also think, from the looks of the animatronics, I don't know how it's gonna actually be a horror movie. With the whole thing with, I think it's Michael and Vanessa, and I think they're gonna do some stupid shitty trope where Michael and Vanessa get into this love thing and then Vanessa's gonna die or something like that. I don't really know. I'm getting way off topic. I'm really bad at formatting these. I love doing these videos, by the way, just talking and rambling. I think gameplay commentary videos are really fun to watch. So yeah, I got way off topic. Anyways, why do I think it's going to be bad? That's one of the reasons. Actually, I kind of put 2 reasons in there because it's one, a mascot horror movie game. It's what if Garten a Band made a movie? That movie would be absolutely the most shit movie ever made. I'm not it might be just imagine, because the entire core audience is children. So they're not gonna make it. And okay, this is my main driving point. It's a horror movie, but it's for kids. I feel that's just not fun to watch. It's kind of I feel it's just kind of watching a shitty horror movie off of Netflix or something. You know what I'm saying? I feel I completely am lost on where I was saying, but the main point was I don't think it's gonna be good. I might come home and go wow, this was cinema. This is up here with movies Across the Spider-Verse and Parasite. But I doubt it. I don't think it's gonna be like that at all. I just really don't know what I'm getting myself into, and I'm super excited for it because it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be shit, but I think it's gonna, since it's Five Nights at Freddy's, it's gonna be the fun kind of shit where it's okay, you know what I'm saying? It's if something happens and a jump scare happens, and it's just gonna be haha, Foxy just jump scared. Also, I don't know how any of the horror elements are gonna work because the entire game, not the story, the entire game's horror is based off of jump scares. So I don't know what they're gonna do. If they add the Fnaf 1 jump scare sound, I think that's gonna be really fucking funny. Also, if they add that one Living Tombstone song, the Fnaf 1 Living Tombstone song, I will be jumping out of my chair. I will be singing along. I'll be like the Taylor Swift fans at the Eras movie tour movie where they're on the screen, they're all like doing their cult ritual dances. That will be me, and that'll be me and my friend and all the other Fnaf nerds who are watching the movie tonight. I know I just rambled on for like 5 minutes, but I just wanted to get my opinion out there that I think this movie's gonna suck because it was made for kids and it's also a mascot horror game. That's all I'm gonna say for right now. I'll get back to you when I watch the movie. So I just saw the movie 2 nights ago. Listen, I would have done it the night of, but my voice was completely gone when I got back from the movie for some reason, and then I was busy the next day. So I'm back. I'm still mad. I'm actually mad. This movie made me upset as a FNAF fan, but I'm not going to review the movie as a FNAF fan until later. Also, I don't know how to review this movie without spoiling anything because there's so much I want to talk about, so I'm spoiling the movie. If you don't want to listen to this, then don't. So the movie itself, it's supposed to be a horror movie, isn't scary. This movie is not scary, and Blumhouse has made scary movies before. This wasn't one of them. My friend made a good point where he said, if your movie is like somehow less scary than Megan, then you're doing something wrong. And I think that's a completely valid point. I mean, the entire game franchise is built off like jump scares, and the movie had like 2 of them, and none of them were like the animatronics. I feel like the movie could have at least benefited from a few jump scares with the animatronics. The thing is, like, they're animatronics, so there's like shots that like linger with like a character before they're about to kill him. But since they're like animatronics, it's kind of goofy. And I think it's kind of goofy because it's like FNAF and you've seen these animatronics your entire life. So like your image of them is tainted. So it's like funny, and then all the like tension in that scene is gone away. And it's just not scary at all. Another reason why I don't think the animatronics were really scary or were effective at being scary is because the main character, Michael's sister, Abby, is like friends with them. Like, there's an entire scene with her and them dancing. There's an entire scene with her and them like building a fort, and like it shows the animatronics like placing down tables on top of a fort to like build it, and then they're like, Bonnie falls over and he like gives a thumbs up. It looks goofy, it looks stupid, but it just like eliminates the entire threat that you would normally feel from the animatronics. I think if the entire plot was based around like, oh, we can't let Abby see these animatronics because something bad will happen, so like the entire movie is trying to like keep her out of it, but then like they fail and then she somehow gets in, and then that's like the tension part. But no, that never happens, and it just makes all the horror aspects kind of just go away. Speaking of the animatronics though, they look really fucking good. The animatronics actually look so fucking cool, and that's like something I can prop this movie on. Like the set, which was like an actual physical, like they actually like built the restaurant. There wasn't like separate rooms. They didn't try to do green screen. It was like all built, and like it looks so good. It does look really good. And the animatronics, I don't really know what they are animatronics, and they are controlled. Like I know for a fact that like they are robots, but like I know there's also parts where there's like human actors in it. Either way, they both look really good. The amount of work and detail that went into them, just like, it's awesome. As like a FNAF fan, I was like, wow, this is cool. I'm seeing them on the big screen, wow. So the entire thing with Abby, which is Michael's sister, is that she like only draws pictures and of her and her friends, but they're like not real. And then you eventually find out that the kids that she were drawing were the ghost kids in the animatronics, and that's why she's friendly with them. I don't really have a problem with this. It's just like, I don't understand, like they didn't really try to explain why Abby specifically can talk to ghost children stuffed in animatronic suits. It doesn't really make sense, but like for plot purposes, it like kind of makes sense. I don't know. I'm not good at reviewing movies. So skipping all the way forward to like the end of the movie where William Afton and Springtrap is shown. For some reason, it's never explained, or I don't understand. The animatronics just like listen to Afton for no reason. There's no like, this is like Vanessa's explanation. She was like, they listen to him. So then that leads them to betray Abby, who they've been like friendly with the entire movie. It doesn't make any sense. Afton, for some reason, has super strength. I don't know why. He's just a regular guy in an animatronic suit. So like, realistically, that should make him a lot like weaker. But then like, there's a scene where he like pushes Michael and he goes flying into like a booth, and it's really funny. I just wanted to mention that. And the way they beat like Springtrap is actually really stupid. I do not get this at all. So Abby's entire like character thing is that she draws pictures, right? So there's a picture on the wall that shows Springtrap holding all the dead kids' hands. So how they change the animatronics' minds of like going to kill Abby and Michael is that Abby draws a picture of Springtrap with a knife killing the kids. And then that changes their mind instantly. It changes the animatronics' minds instantly. And then they immediately turn on William Afton. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. It's so stupid. I know I said this at the beginning where like a movie doesn't really need like gore and this doesn't need to show a lot to be good. But I know in no world this movie would have been like rated R. But they wouldn't even show like cuts. There was a scene where Michael was being beat up by dream children. And like they were just simple cuts. They didn't show any of it. They showed nothing. And it's just like a simple cut, right? I feel like the movie could have benefited from more things like that to make it at least a little more unsettling, because that's what this movie was missing. Just like the unsettlingness. I don't know if that's a word. Like from the original Fnaf series. The entire reason why it was so scary in the first place was because you were dropped in to this like, you can't move, you're stuck watching these animatronics, which you know that they're coming after you, but you don't know like what's going on. And like the fear of the unknown and like what's about to happen is like the whole pushing factor of the entire Fnaf thing. And they just threw that all out the window, I feel like. I feel like if they took a book, this is gonna sound stupid as shit, but I feel like if they took a book out of like the FNAF analog horror, the movie would have been so much more fun to watch. Because like, okay, it didn't have to be all gory and shit, but at least could have made you like unsettled or uncomfortable. Doing that, I feel like is what like even more important than just like being scary, because the feeling of being uncomfortable is so much worse, at least to me. Okay, so that's all I have to say about like the movie itself. I have a list that I'm going off of, and I have a list literally just categorized as Vanessa, because oh my god, her entire role and what she does in this movie makes no sense. So in this movie, Vanessa is a cop, and then one night she randomly comes to Freddy's and just like makes Michael let her in. Then she's like, oh, have you met the animatronics yet? And then she shows like Michael the animatronics, and it's like supposed to show like, oh, she's fond of the place, she likes the animatronics, whatever. They start trying to force like a love thing instantly the night that they met, and like as the animatronics are singing, doing their goofy little song on stage, she just is like, hey, wanna dance? And then the animatronics shut down for no reason, or something happens. I don't know why they feel the need to force like a love relationship, because like you barely already know Vanessa, and Michael barely knows Vanessa, so why is she asking some random stranger to dance? And then back to the fort building scene, oh my god. She's like, why it's happening, or like before they start building the fort, Abby like shows the animatronics their plan. They're like, we need to build a fort. And then Michael's like, okay, I don't think this is a good idea. These are like big scary animatronics. I don't want you like being around them. And then he was like, right, Vanessa? And then Vanessa's like, I think we should use these tables. So it's like she's in support with like Abby interacting with the animatronics. She acts like it's all a-okay. And like she even like encourages them to like play with the animatronics. And then like one scene happens where Abby like plays Bonnie's guitar, which causes like a short circuit and it shocks her. And then the scene directly after that, Vanessa threatens to shoot Michael. She threatens to shoot Michael if she were to ever bring Abby back to Freddy Fazbear's again, which was just a complete 180 from how she was feeling like a scene prior. There was a little bit that happened in the middle of that where like something happened with the spring locks. Like they showed off spring locks to show like, oh, they're bad. And then she kind of got like scared in that sense. But that didn't like shake her up enough to go like, I'm gonna shoot you with my gun when you come back to Freddy's with Abby. That just makes no sense. The entire movie forgets to acknowledge that Vanessa is a cop. Like, she's a police officer. She enforces the law. In the entire movie, she spends full nights hanging out with Michael at Freddy Fazbear's. Or like there's a scene where she comes to Michael's house and they talk for a while. Like, doesn't she have a job or something that she has to do? I feel like cops just can't like go hang out at closed down chain establishments for hours at a time. And also the scene where she visited Michael, she threw a pill bottle in the river, just like littering, and I thought that was pretty funny. She reveals eventually that William Afton is her father, and I know it's an alternate timeline, but whatever, dude. So like she knew about the kids being stuffed in the animatronic suits. She knew that like William Afton still was there and that he was going to try to control the animatronics to kidnap and kill Abby, and she never warned Michael or Abby once. There's an earlier scene where people break in and start trashing the like place, and the animatronics like flat out kill them, like they're dead. And Vanessa like knew about all of that. She knew about like, she hid the dead bodies. I think she hid it, I'm not 100% sure, but she knew there were dead bodies and they were in the restaurant, and like she didn't even tell Michael that the animatronics killed people. She didn't warn him that William Afton was going to try to take Abby from him and put her into like a springlock suit. She didn't warn him that the animatronics were going to like try to kill him. Like, I don't understand what her motivation was. William Afton's my father. That's no motivation at all. She hates her. I assume she hates her father because he kills people for a living. So there's nothing stopping her from telling her There's nothing stopping her from telling like Michael that Abby's gonna get taken, dude. Don't come back here. Which is like the entire scene of her saying like, I will shoot you. But like, she could have just said, Abby's gonna fucking die if you bring her back here. I don't know. That's a huge gripe I had with this movie. That they just kind of forget that she's a cop, and they just never acknowledge it, except for like in one scene where they just like, they use it as a way to make her leave. I don't know. It's so dumb. That is like my biggest thing. That's like why my Vanessa column is so big. She eventually gets, like I predicted, she gets stabbed by Springtrap. She doesn't die, but she gets in a coma from a stab wound, which when my friend pointed it out, it was really funny. It made me chuckle. Okay, now, as a Fnaf fan, how do I feel about this movie? I personally feel disrespected as a Fnaf fan. I'm not kidding. I don't know how other people feel about this, but I've been waiting for this movie for so long. And I just feel like if they drew more from the source material, they could have actually came out with a better movie than what they like kind of made up for it. I understand that it's a movie and not everyone not everyone knows the FNAF lore front and back and everything. I feel like if they took inspirations from the lore, because me personally, obviously, I think the lore is like very interesting and there's some very good stuff that they could have pulled from there, and they just didn't. I just feel like that was kind of a missed opportunity. I do want to get this out of the way. I didn't care about the red eyes at the beginning of the movie, but like this movie, they would have looked so much better if they had the white dilated eyes. And that's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to I'm sure everyone's heard this argument a million times. I know Vanessa says she's Afton's daughter. I don't really know why they decided to make that. I know it's an alternate timeline, but like I don't understand why that's something they needed to say. Maybe for tension. I think they literally only did it for the reason of her not wanting to tell Michael about the evil animatronics, I guess. I'm just going down the list now. Freddy never did har har har. I think he does it at the end of the movie, but like it's super like loud, and I don't think it's like actually it. I don't know. I don't understand why the kids, the dead kids in the animatronic suits listen to Afton. Like the entire game, in the game, they are like, they're vengeful, and they're not vengeful, they're filled with like agony and shit, and like against Michael or William Afton. And that's why like the Fnaf 3 one minigame where they scare him back into this suit where he gets the spring lock failure, like they don't like Michael Afton or William Afton. I don't know why I keep doing that. I got Michael Afton on my mind. The cameo with Matt Pat was funny. The cameo with Corey Kenshin was funny. Matt Pat got to say it's just a theory. Matt Pat's name was Ness in like as the diner, and I watched his video and he said the reason that his name was Ness is because Scott wanted to reference the Sans' Nest thing. I think that's really funny. Okay, the spring lock failure scene. Everyone was expecting it, everyone wanted it, and they did it. And did they deliver? No. The entire point of a spring lock failure is like, I know they don't show it. This is the most gruesome scene, I feel like, in the entire movie. It shows like one of the spring locks digging into his skin. But like the entire point of a spring lock is like, it like traps you in. There's like a bunch of spring locks. That's like the whole thing. And I feel like there wasn't enough, or like it wasn't shown enough that there is a lot of spring locks. I know this is the most pet peeve, picky bullshit thing you've ever like heard in your entire life, but it matters to me. Like the entire point that Springtrap exists is because he's stuck in the suit. Like he cannot get out of the suit literally because he is like trapped in by metal fucking bars. I don't know, it's just something I wanted to mention. Also, the cause of the Springlock suit is stupid as shit. The reason he gets a Springlock failure is because the cupcake bites off his fur. His like fur from the outside of his suit, and then it causes a Springlock failure. Like they could have easily done like it was raining during that night, and then rain dripped on him, and then he gets fucked. He gets surrounded by the animatronics, and then water drips on him. Springlock snap. That could have been it. But the cupcake, Chica's cupcake, bites off the fur of his Springlock suit, gets off of him, and then the Springlock snap. It makes no sense. There's a part where Vanessa like confronts William, and she's like, "Stop this, Dad." And then he's like, "I'm only doing this because of what you started." And then that's never explained. What did Vanessa do? Markiplier's in the movie, which makes the movie suck entirely. Markiplier was supposed to be the night guard at the beginning of the movie, where like he got died, where he died and his body parts fell off, and he got his face like taken over by like the torture Freddy head. And he isn't in the movie, so it sucked. Okay, I've been rambling on for almost 30 minutes now. I didn't expect to go on for this long, but I just had a lot to say. I wanted to get this out the night of, and I didn't. Have a beautiful day. Have a blessed day. I love you. Goodbye.